This video. Today, we'll be continuing our introduction to Java, and today we'll be talking about loops. So, a loop is a block of code that will keep running given its conditions and constraints. Okay, so today we'll be talking about 4 different types of loops. Okay, I'm going to list them out here. So we have the if loop, for loop, we have the else loop, and we also have the while loop. Okay, so if you don't know some of these, it's fine. We're going to go over them. Okay, so talk about if loop first. So what is an if loop? Okay, an if loop is a true or false statement, right? So like it's going to ask, is this true? So if 5 is bigger than 4, then let's print something like this. Let's print hello world. Then if this is true, which it is, then it's going to print hello world, right? So then to see this word, let's create a variable int my variable equals to 5, let's say, okay? And then let's create the if statement. So for loops, we use brackets because that way you can put code inside, okay? So if my variable is equal to 5. So remember, this has to be double equal because if it's single equal, that means it's assigning a variable to a number, right? So you have to use double equal. Okay, so if it is equal to 5, then let's just print system.out.print in, right? Okay, let's just print my variable. So if we print this, we're gonna get 5 because my variable equals to 5, and if my variable equals to 5, so we're checking if my variable equals to 5. If it's true, we're going to run this. If it's not true, then we're not going to print anything, right? Because there's no other functions out of here. Yeah, see, we're going to print 5 because it is true. Okay, so that's an if loop. But then we can also make another variable to show that my variable equals to 5, let's say 6 actually. So if it is equal to, whoopsies, let's put 2 here. So my variable 2, okay, say that. Then we're going to print my variable, right? But then since that is not true because 5 does not equal to 6, we're not going to print anything, right? So then it's just to show that it has true and false options. Okay, so one way to, if we want to print this both, it's different numbers like 5 and 6, then we can use a new notation. So we use this. Okay, so we have exclamation mark and an equal sign. That means if variable does not equal to my variable 2. So we know that 5 does not equal to 6. So therefore, this if statement is true. That means we're going to print my variable, which is going to be 5, right? We can also put my variable 2, and we're going to get 6 because if my variable does not equal to my variable, which is true, then we're going to print my variable 2, which is 6 in this case. Okay, so yeah, we get 6. Okay, so this is the if loop. But what if you want another scenario, right? So like, you have 2 scenarios. If this is true, then you say, okay, you have enough money to buy this item. But if you don't have enough, then what you want to say you don't have enough. So how do you write that? So introduce else loop. Okay, so put else. Okay, so we don't have to put anything constraints in the else because it's anything that does not satisfy this requirement, right? So that means we know that my variable equals to my variable 2. So we're going to, let's say system.out.println, and let's print, oh, actually, no, let's just say something. My variable is equal to my variable 2, right? So we're still going to print 6 because we're printing my variable 2 here, right? 6. And then since this is valid and this is valid, then we're going to print 6. Oops, semicolon. 6, right? But what if we made this, let's say we made this 5, right? So that means this is equal. So now since that these two, so this is not satisfied, right? Because 5 does not equal to 5. That doesn't make sense. That's false. So we just get to the else, right? So we just print my variable is equal to my variable 2. Because these are the same, and this is the else statement. Okay. So wait, I'm actually gonna teach you another one. So what if you wanted 3 different options, right? Okay, so then we'll just, okay, we'll leave that for now. Okay, so what if you want three different options? So we have else if, right? So we put else if, because we put if, we just put another if, then it's going to overrun. So we're gonna have like maybe like two different outputs, right? If we just don't specify that's it else. So because we're going to go like, so think of this as train track, right? So you have three different destinations. So the first one is here, okay? Your if statement. So if this is not true, you keep going, right? You keep going on the train track. And then you go to the second one, else if. If this is not true, you go to the third one, okay? And usually the third one has to be, is the one you get off of, okay? So else if, let's say, let's see, okay, my variable is greater than my variable 2. Then let's do the opposite one here. So my variable is less than my variable 2. Okay, and then we're going to get what? What are you gonna get? So let's just print system dot print ln. So let's just print. Actually, no, let's do this here. So my variable is bigger. Okay, so let's print. Okay, let's print. This time let's print my variable 2 is bigger. So my variable 2 is bigger, right? Okay, but what if still none of these things satisfy? So here comes the third one, else, right? So that means, so this, since this is else, right? So it's not going to be this, it's not going to be this. So what other cases are there? It has to be equal. So now we know that my variable is equal to my variable 2. So we're going to get this one because 5, of course, it equals to 5. But what if we put 6 here, right? Then we're going to get my variable is bigger. But what if we put, let's say, 8 here? Then we know it's not going to, so train track again, okay? So we look through this one. Is this one valid? Is this one valid? No, it isn't. So well, the next one. Is this one valid? Yes, because my variable is actually less than my variable 2, which is true here. So if we run it, we're going to get my variable 2 is bigger, right? Okay, but what if these two are equal again? Okay, so let's just say this is 7, also this is 7. So we check the first one. Is my variable bigger than my variable 2? No, because they're equal. So we move to the next one. Is else if one work? No, it doesn't, because my variable is not smaller than my variable 2. They're actually equal, right? So that we move to the last one, so else. So we just print this because these two don't satisfy. So we just go with the last case. Okay. And this is our if loop, else loop, and else if loop. Okay. So we don't need this. When we've done these two. Okay. So next one we're going to do the for loop. Okay. So what is a for loop? Okay, a for loop is a continuing repeat of a block of code given a certain condition. Okay, so I'm going to write a for loop here. Okay, just follow along and explain it all. So let's do int I equals to 0. I is less than, let's put 5 here. Okay, and let's do I plus plus. Okay, so I'm going to explain it all. Okay, so let's just say, so there are 3 segments, okay, and they're all separated by semicolons. So there's 3 segments. The first one is declaring account number. So we use I because I stands for increment. Okay, so when you're using for loop, people usually use I because it stands for increment, right? So we know that, so the first section, we're going to create a counter. That means we're going to keep counting for the for loop until it reaches a certain point. Okay, a second one is your statement, like your condition. Like if this satisfies, we go into, it's like a if statement. So this is the if statement part. And every time you finish a for loop, you add one. So I plus plus, that means I plus 1, right? It's the same thing as I plus 1. So we just add 1. And we start at 0 and we keep adding 1. So we just write system.out.println. Let's just say hello, right? Okay, so we're going to get 5 hellos because, let's see, let's start from the beginning. Okay, so I equals to 0. So we start for loop, we got I equals to 0. So we just run in first, right? So we try, is I less than 5? So we know that 0 is less than 5. So we say yes. So we just go inside and we say, and we write hello in the console, right? So that's the first time. So get out now. And then now we go in again. So I equals to 1. So is 1 less than 5? Yes, it is. So we just print hello again. Okay, and now we end it because there's no other code inside. So we go to this the third time. Okay, int I equals to 2. Is 2 less than 5? Yes. Okay, then we print out hello the third time. Right? Okay, we go back to the fourth time. Is I? So now I equals to 3, right? So is it less than 5? Yes. So we just print hello the fourth time, right? Okay, and lastly, we have 4 and I equals to 4 this time. So is 4 less than 5? Yes, certainly. So we just print hello the fifth time. Okay, now, and we add one more. So now we have I equals to 5. Okay, since we want to keep seeing until we can stop it, so we have to go in again. So is now I equals to 5. Is 5 less than 5? No, because they're actually equal. Okay, so we're gonna print it hi, hello 5 times. See, hello 5 times. Okay. But if we wanted to print 6 times, right, then we can just do this. So equal, right? Because so once it gets to 5, then we check is 5 less than or equal to 5. So that's true, right? Because it's also it's equal. So it's going to write 6 times. Okay. So this is the for loop. Finally, we have the while loop. So what is a while loop? A while loop is it is very similar to a for loop, but instead it only has a condition. That means what makes the while loop valid and makes it possible to continue, right? So let's create one. We have while. Let's create, actually no, let's create a variable. Int my variable equals to, let's do 6 this time. Okay, and then, so while well, my variable is less than 9. Okay, let's say 9. We use brackets again because this is a loop. So let's do, okay, system.out.println. Let's print hi. Okay, so the only problem with this is that we don't have an incrementer, right? So let's just test it out. So my variable equals to 6. So is my variable less than 9? Yes. So we just print out hi. And now we just start from the while loop again. Is 6 less than 9? It's going to print hi. Okay, we go back here. Is 6 less than 9? And we're going to keep going because we don't have an incrementer to keep like upping up my variable until it's bigger than 9. So if we print it, we're going to get like infinite highs, right? So then to stop this, we're going to do my variable equals to my variable plus 1. Okay, so as we said last video, this means that my variable now equals to my variable plus 1, so it increments by 1. Though this does not make sense mathematically, what you're just saying is that you just want to add 1, okay, because you want to calculate this first, and now my variable equals to my variable plus 1. Okay, but another short way to put this, okay, is my variable plus plus, because this also means just my variable plus 1, right? So then it's only going to print, let's see. So 6 less than 9? Yep, so you print hi. Okay, we add 1. So now my variable is 7. Is 7 less than 9? Yes. So we just print hi again. And then now we add 1. So now my variable is 8. Is 8 less than 9? Yes. So we're going to print hi. Okay, we're going to add 1 more. So now it's 9. So now is my variable, which is 9, less than 9? So that's not true, right? Because they're actually equal. So we don't print hi. So total, we're only going to print hi 3 times. Okay, so while it's only going to print, it is only going to print hi when my variable equals to 6, 7, and 8. So that's 3 times, right? So 6, 7, 8. So that's 3 times. And we're going to get 3 highs. Okay. So this is the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.